This is the parking area. And we've got some plants out here. Very nice, very nice. Taking the dogs for a little walk. We're gonna have some food, have some water. And they've got this little big patio area. So here we are getting ready to go in. The dogs are having a little food, a little water. The people here are super, super friendly. And it is gorgeous inside. Once again, George has come in with his golden tongue, lengua de oro, and secured us a very nice place. And it's even bigger than I thought. Oh my goodness. A nice courtyard down here. The tile work in this hotel is amazing. I mean, just gorgeous. Okay, so they have a lot more rooms than I thought. Maybe eight or nine, maybe 11, 12 rooms in here. And it's awesome. And this solar lighting, a lot of modern amenities here. So if you're ever in this area, come by and check them out. They're super friendly, looks great in here. She's been an excellent help. Now come back down the stairs, head it out. Oh, it's a very nice easel. Is that what that is? I think so. I'm a painter, I should know these things. The garage here. I would imagine these are their personal vehicles. Kitchen here. I love the rooster with the sunglasses. Here we are. This is home for the night. Fine place indeed. And they've even gone so far as to offer to help us babysit the dogs. We got this young man helping us out here. We're gonna go set up the cage. And I think George and I are gonna go get some food. We just fed and watered them. We need food and drink as well. A little better view of the kitchen area. The dogs aren't allowed in the nice rooms, understandably, but they have this nice area in the back that they've offered to let us use. That will be just fine. And total cost for our entire stay this evening, plus 2 dogs, so there's 2 of us plus 2 dogs. Absolutely gorgeous. This place is awesome. People are great, wonderful vibe here. We've been absolutely welcomed in with open arms. Now we're gonna go hit the streets, go get some food. It's time for that. And to make things even cooler, there are 2 people here that are from Raleigh, North Carolina. They're Salvadorian, I think, but they speak English perfectly. George and his golden tongue at work again. We're getting some directions from this lady to go find a nice restaurant to hang out at, somewhere not too far. We're tired, so I'm going to get a bite to eat and wrap it up for the evening. Okay, where we came from was right over there at the corner. They actually own this hotel as well. So this is the office. George is gonna have him a well-deserved drink,
That's from here.
a well-deserved smoke. This man has been driving ever since we crossed the border into Mexico.
I need it, buddy.
Oh, I know you do. He's been driving for a week straight.
That's the national beer.
That's the national beer, El Salvador. So here we are in the streets of El Salvador. We're gonna take a walk. This, even though it's kind of a smaller town, seems to be just about as safe as the rest of what we've checked out so far. I really like it here. I like it here almost as much as I like Costa Rica. And here we are at the Pacific Coast. Stopped here to get a little street food. Very nice area. Another bar, restaurant over there. It is still as windy as can be. This is awesome. Windy, but awesome. Looking outside, beautiful view. Coast is right over there. A lot of wind coming off the sea. This is excellent. This is one of my favorite places of this trip so far. It might be right up there. Salvador, El Salvador is a beautiful, beautiful country. Absolutely gorgeous. Great people, great government, great infrastructure, and constantly improving. This is going to be a very affluent nation very, very soon. Still here, still hanging out. These people are awesome. Both her and her husband, I imagine, are excellent. He's over there taking a little break. Nice bathroom outside, right here on the coast. Awesome.
Tenemos pupusas, tenemos costillas, ¿qué más tenemos? Ceviche. Ceviche. Ya me metí aquí.
There's George is working now. They said he was standing around too much. They put him to work. So George made friends with everybody in Mexico. He's now made friends with everybody in El Salvador. This nice lady is in here cooking for us, and she has an awesome spread going on. Everything looks really, really good. Really nice in here. She's been excellent to us. Very friendly, very nice.
Sí, porque están los chilaquiles. Ajá.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Normal.
So we have internet now. George is very happy to be talking to his daughter. What's her name?
Catalina.
That's her. She wants to be on YouTube, so we're gonna put her up there.
¿Cómo? Buenos días, caballero.
Llevan cuarentena usted,
¿Ah?
cuarentena.
Sí, sí, llevamos ahí todo. Vamos saliendo, vamos. ¿Cuál es para salir? Vamos para Honduras.
Bueno.
We're here at the migration checkpoint, getting everything squared away so we can enter Honduras. Honduras. I suppose I should say it correctly. So we had to travel a few kilometers over here to another station. At first they wanted to look at the paperwork for the dogs and everything. Now we're over here. Georgia's got to make some copies of the registration for the car. We've already gotten ahead of the game a little bit and made a bunch of copies this morning so that we can just breeze right on through. But we should be back soon, and I think after that we're going to be good to go. One of the officials from the other checkpoint was nice enough to hop in the passenger seat, came with us, got us all taken care of. We have now crossed over the river, we've crossed over the border into Honduras, and we have to get our paperwork squared here. So at each border crossing, you have to do paperwork for one country and then paperwork for the other. So, you know, it winds up taking some time, and sometimes it's smooth, sometimes it isn't, sometimes it takes for freaking ever. So you guys remember in La Mancha, or just before we got to La Mancha, where we got pulled out of the car and it was at night and they were doing a really thorough search and there was like 5 or 6 cops? Well, one of them had a bunch of tattoos and we started talking about tattoos. I showed him my Instagram and he followed me. And we have been in communication ever since I left. He's been messaging me on Instagram. He was like, man, I like you. I think you're cool. Blah, 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 all this other good stuff. I thanked him for his professionalism and, you know, seeing us through pretty quickly during that search. And, you know, it's all good. Understand, just a man doing his job. Have respect for that. So this man here is one of the migration officials that are here. He came with us from the other location. He's been with us the whole time. He's awesome. He's all smiles, getting us to the front of the line and getting us into Honduras as quickly as possible. He's doing a wonderful job. So we're still here waiting to enter Honduras. We are trying as best we can to appease the bureaucracy. See all of my visas here. These are all tourist visas. That's from the first visit to Costa Rica, entering Mexico, leaving Mexico, entering Guatemala, leaving Guatemala, El Salvador, and then I have to get a stamp for Honduras, or a visa for Honduras, and of course we're not going to be here long. We'll probably traverse the country today and wind up in Nicaragua. Here we are inside. The line starts here and wraps all the way around. I have to get a stamp to enter Honduras, and George is waiting with the car on the other side. So I've come back with the migration officials. We're going to go through here. It cost me $3 American. You get a stamp, and then I'll be good to go. I didn't have to spend very much time in that line at all. These gentlemen helped us out, got us to the front of the line. Very good. Cost me $50, but well worth it, because I would have been here all day. There was a line wrapped around the entire building. People packed in like sardines. We have made it. We have made it. We are now. Are we in Honduras?
Yeah, we're
Honduras ahora?
Yep.
Oh, yep. We're here now. Made it through. Paperwork, paperwork, paperwork. Bureaucracies, but we are here and we have made it through. Here they're checking our paperwork. I think this is the final stop before we actually enter Honduras. And they're just checking us out, make sure we're okay. I think we're going to pull over to the side now so they can check the vehicle out. They're searching another one over here. So they're going to want to take a look inside of the car, I imagine. Okay, so Honduras so far, no problems. They popped the trunk. They wanted to know what my autoclave was, and he told them it was just equipment for doing tattoos, and I don't think they took anything even out of the trunk, so not very intrusive. No problems there. We just breezed right on through. Of course, they wanted us to pull over and look in the trunk, which was no problem. So that went pretty smooth. There weren't nearly as many sketchy people at the border as there were with the border with Guatemala. As we came in to Guatemala, that was by far the sketchiest location of this entire trip. Salvador, nobody. Nothing but officials, well-dressed. And then once we crossed into Honduras, there were a couple. There was a guy that came up that I exchanged for some cash, for some I guess whatever currency they use here in Honduras. I don't even know what it's called, or if the guy gave me the correct change or any of that, but I exchanged some a little bit in the street. There's officials walking around with big wads of cash, and they have name tags on and everything, so I exchanged a little bit, and then all of a sudden this little guy runs up, and I had the window up, but he asked me to roll it down, so I cracked it, and I had a few words with him, and now he's reaching into the car, and he's touching me, and he's talking about how he likes my tattoos and all this. I already know the charade. I already know he's trying to get some money out of me. Then he asked me for some money. I said, no, I don't have it. Of course, I'm speaking Spanish because he don't speak English. I told him, no, I don't have it. I told him to go ahead, to go on. And he wanted to stand there and keep mouthing off. So I asked him in Spanish, ¿Quieres problemas? And he shook his head, yes. And so I kind of got mad, and I was like, ¿Quieres problemas conmigo? Adelante. And then he finally went away. Then, when George had to go back into the office, I had all of the doors locked in here. And I was sitting in the passenger seat, and some guy walking by grabbed the door handle and tried to open the door up. I don't know what in the world he thought he was going to get, besides dog bit and his ass beat. But anyway, we're through all that now. and hopefully that's the worst of it. So it's only about 2 hours, a little over 100 kilometers to get to the border of Nicaragua through this very small section of Honduras. So that's where we're headed now. About 2 more hours until we get there. Both of us are pretty hungry. We're going to stop for some food. Basura. I guess that's a landfill.
Yep.
That's the dump. You can say what you want to about the prevalence of street dogs in Central America, but I think this is much better than rounding them up, throwing them into a pound, and waiting for them to be executed. I mean, they just wander around. They don't cause any problems. None of the dogs are mean, at least none of the ones that I've encountered, and people just give them scrap food and they live their happy lives. It's a nice restaurant here. Stop in and get us something. We're been starving. We didn't eat this morning. It's been a long day already. Honduras. First impressions. First of all, this restaurant was freaking amazing. Awesome food. Still super cheap. I think it was, it was definitely less than 30 bucks for both of us to eat. Really, really good food. So we're just a few kilometers inside of the border. It's a nice area. It's a nice area. They've got a garage over here with a bunch of people working. You got the restaurant here. They have armed security at this location. Almost everywhere you go, there's an armed security guard standing around with a shotgun. And it makes you feel a little safer. About halfway through Honduras now, and it is 93 degrees outside and climbing. Very hot. Very, very hot.
papi was like, oh. Don't scare him.
You'll be nice.
Touch the window. Never touch the window.
Took here and a took there. Here a took, there a took, everywhere a took. Okay, we are now approaching the border with Nicaragua. Maybe about 10 more minutes before we get there. There's a huge line of trucks, but we have been informed by the border agent that we passed just a little bit ago that we are allowed to come over into the left lane and continue so that we don't get stuck behind all of these trucks, because we would be here literally for days. I mean, there is a line miles, kilometers long. And since I've given my opinion, honest opinion on every nation that we've been through so far, I'll give you my opinion of this one. The vibe here is nice, but it is not an affluent area, at least not this area that we're passing through. It's pretty poor. There's a lot of trash everywhere. You can tell that, I mean, these people are hard workers. I mean, you see street vendors everywhere. You see these people working, but you can tell this just isn't a very rich area. This line of trucks continues as far as the eye can possibly see and beyond. This is the migration office to get into Nicaragua. We're still passing the huge line of trucks. We've been instructed by a police officer to drive on the sidewalk, so we're doing that. We've made it through the Honduras side, and now we have to get over here and do all the migration and paperwork to enter Nicaragua. So we're right in the middle of the border. Well, it's night now. We're still waiting to cross in. There was not too many people here, but this is taking an extraordinary amount of time. And my dog just had the runniest shit imaginable right in the floor in there. So, yeah, I'm ready to get out of here. I am over this trip. I want to go to Costa Rica immediately. It'd be about 2 more days. If it could have went wrong at the border with Nicaragua, it did. And we were there for hours and hours and hours, 4 or 5 at least, probably 6, I don't know. The dog crapped right in the middle of the place, super watery. It took me an entire roll of toilet paper to clean that up. That was awesome. And then, as usual, we're running to this office. Now you gotta go over here and you gotta do this. Well, we forgot that. Now we gotta go back to the car. Now we gotta do that. Oh my God, it was just a fucking ordeal. And, oh man, one of them days. They started off pretty good. And overall, the trip has been pretty fun. But my God, have we encountered some difficulties, and my God, has it been frustrating at times. We weren't on this trip alone. There's no way. There's no way that we were on this trip alone. And I don't mean including 2 dogs. Something was looking out for us. Something has been looking out for us this entire time. Things almost didn't work a lot, and I will never make this trip again. It's been almost 2 weeks in a car. Next time, I'm gonna pay the money, whatever it is, and jump on an airplane. But this experience sure has built some character, if nothing else, and, well, I feel like I've visibly aged, but what do we do? We keep trucking, keep going. We seem to have lost a document. It's very important. I have a stack of documents this thick, a stack of receipts about the same thickness. Oh. But what did I say the other day? Gotta take the good with the bad. I still have my life, for better or for worse. I still have 2 dogs, for better or for worse. The car still runs. We have gas. I don't have to sleep on the street, and this little hotel ain't too bad. There's a shower. I'm getting ready to utilize it. It's air conditioned. And try again tomorrow.